You know, in the world of tech, some giants seem absolutely untouchable, their kingdoms built over decades of dominance. But every once in a while, a single innovation comes along that threatens to bring the whole empire crashing down. Today, we're unpacking a classic David versus Goliath story. But this time, the sling is a revolutionary AI, and Goliath is a $20 billion gaming titan. So, let's dive in and see how this all went down.
It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? But believe me, this isn't some hypothetical thought experiment. This is the very real question the entire creative industry started asking when a new tool just dropped, seemingly out of nowhere. And it immediately began to dismantle the core business of a company that, powers probably half the games on your phone right now. The stakes? Well, they could not be higher.
And this is where it all started. Not in some flashy press conference, not in a big boardroom, but right down in the trenches with the creators themselves. This one sentence, just posted on an indie developer forum, was the first tremor of an absolute earthquake. It was a signal that the power was shifting, big time, away from complex, expensive software to something fast, intuitive, and just unbelievably powerful.
So what is this revolutionary tool? I mean, what are we actually talking about here? To really get the massive impact it had, we have to go back to the exact moment it was unleashed on the world.
Okay, mark this date down. February 10th, 2026. This is the day the creative industry was just completely blindsided. ByteDance, yeah, the company behind TikTok, they unleashed a tool that wasn't just an update, it was a total paradigm shift. We're talking about a prompt-to-film revolution that basically put the power of a Hollywood studio inside a simple text box. So, let's meet our challenger, Seedance 2.0. And look, calling it an AI video generator is kind of like calling a spaceship a vehicle. I mean, it's technically true, but it just completely misses the sheer scale of the innovation we're dealing with here.
The magic behind all of this is something called multimodal AI. So what does that actually mean in plain English? Well, it means you can throw pretty much anything at it. A line of text, a rough sketch you drew, a video of your friend dancing in the park, a piece of music, and the AI understands the context, the motion, and the vibe from all of those different things at once to create something totally new.
And this is where you start to see the real power. This isn't about making those short, wobbly, kind of weird AI video clips anymore. No, we're talking about multi-shot storytelling where a character actually looks the same from scene to scene. We're talking precise motion replication so it can copy a camera movement from one video and apply it to a whole new one. It can even generate its own audio. This is full-on, director-level control, all from a prompt.
And the workflow itself, it's almost deceptively simple. You just feed the AI your creative ingredients, it spits out a cinematic sequence in literally seconds, and then you can export it to use in professional editing software. Just like that, the massive barrier to entry for making high-quality video, poof, it vanished.
All right, so that's our challenger. Now let's turn our attention to the incumbent, the giant in our story, Unity. For years and years, Unity has been the undisputed king of accessible game development. To really get a sense of their dominance, you just have to look at the numbers. Before Seedance came along, Unity powered a staggering 70% of all mobile games. We are talking about massive hits like Genshin Impact and all-time beloved indies like Cuphead. Their engine was simply the go-to choice for millions of developers around the world.
Unity had built a fortress, Its moat was this huge ecosystem of tools for creating cinematics, an absolutely massive asset store, and a super loyal community. But there were cracks in the walls. That infamous runtime fee controversy back in 2023 really damaged trust, and, crucially, they were falling way behind in the AI arms race.
And this is where the story really takes a turn, because we're heading into a head-to-head battle. See, Seedance didn't just create some new, separate market. No, it launched a direct assault on Unity's most valuable territory, the entire creative workflow.
This really helps visualize that fundamental shift. The old way, the Unity way, it was powerful, sure, but man, was it slow and complex. It required specialists and just hours and hours of painstaking work. The new way? It's instant, it's intuitive, it's completely driven by AI.
And here's where the attack becomes absolutely surgical. This table breaks it down perfectly. For every single core feature in Unity's Creative Suite, Seedance offered an AI-powered alternative that was just way faster and way cheaper. Need a cinematic? Just describe it. Need game assets? Generate them. That 40-hour game trailer we talked about? Yeah, that's now a 2-hour task.
Seedance wasn't a complementary tool. It was a flat-out replacement.
And well, when your core business model gets disrupted that directly and that quickly, the consequences are immediate and they are brutal. The market saw the writing on the wall and it did not waste any time.
This was the immediate gut punch to Unity's stock price, right after the Seedance launch. Wall Street literally called it AI extinction fears. Investors instantly realized that a huge part of Unity's value was suddenly at risk of becoming totally obsolete. And then the bleeding started inside their ecosystem. Unity's asset store, which was this huge marketplace for game assets, saw sales drop by an estimated 25% in the first quarter of 2026 alone. I mean, why would you buy a 3D model of a sword for $50 when you can generate a totally custom one for free?
But the damage went even deeper than just revenue. Their mobile market share, which was once this untouchable fortress, began to seriously slip. Developers, especially the smaller indie teams, they started flocking to other game engines that were way quicker to integrate these new AI tools, leaving Unity in the dust.
So this brings us to the really big question, right? The future. In the face of such a powerful disruption, what can a giant like Unity possibly do? The choice is pretty simple, and it's stark. Adapt or face oblivion.
And you've got to understand, the pressure is not letting up. Not at all. Seedance's roadmap is, well, it's terrifyingly ambitious. They're already moving beyond just cinematic tools towards creating interactive narratives. And their ultimate goal? Something they're calling Seed Game, an AI that can generate entire playable game experiences just from a prompt.
Now, Unity is fighting back. Of course they are. They've announced their own AI updates, they're looking to partner with other AI companies, but a lot of people in the industry are asking the same question: is it too little, too late? It feels like they're trying to bolt AI onto their old fortress, while Seedance is busy building a whole new kind of kingdom from the ground up. And all of this leaves us with this final, really profound question. This battle, it isn't just about two companies. It's about a fundamental shift in creativity itself. As these tools become more and more powerful, moving from being an assistant to being the author, it forces every single one of us to redefine what it even means to be a creator. What is the human's role when the AI can direct the entire film? That's a question we are all going to have to answer, and very, very soon.